Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Crypto Takeover coming back with a Bitcoin video for you. So Bitcoin finding a little bit of resistance at that 16.5 area. We're going to see if Bitcoin could be holding support around the 16K area or so, and then maybe make its way up to the 17, 18K, possibly before the end of the year. So, we still have a little bit left going on into November and December. But we're looking for maybe the beginning of the year, possibly hitting, up to 18K, if not even up to 20K possibly too as well. And then we're going to take a look at some of the altcoins and see when they might be ready to rally too. We have a little bit in the news today. We had some saying that PayPal is offering its US customers the option to buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrency. So I just took a look at my PayPal account. I didn't see that this was active, but apparently it is active and it is going live maybe in some areas as of right now. So let me know, comment down below if you are able to buy and sell and hold cryptocurrency on PayPal or not. I'd be curious to know. And yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so if y'all are brand new to this channel, we use the market cipher indicator by CryptoFace alongside with the TI sequential by Tone Vase and the market guide buy and sell signals. So we're using a few paid for indicators on this channel. If you want to check out some of those indicators and get a hold of them as well too, you can use the link in the description box below. If you are going to sign up for market cipher, I would highly recommend that you use my referral link. That would be highly appreciated to help support the channel. And then you can also become a seller of Market Cipher using your own unique ID referral username. So you'll enter your username down here, so that way you can resell Market Cipher. But when you click that link, you're supporting me already, so there's no need to enter my name here. And then folks, we have our Path to Cryptocurrency course. This is a beginner's course to cryptocurrency. So if you are brand new to this space and you have no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to these videos and you happen to stumble across this video, I would highly recommend that you take a beginner course. And our beginner course offers everything from how to get started to what exchanges we use and how to dollar cost average. And then some altcoins that allow you to even stake and earn passive income too as well. So we go over a few of those things in the Path to Cryptocurrency course. I'd highly recommend it. If y'all are interested in checking it out, feel free to. And then also we have our Patreon trading group page where you can learn about different altcoins that we're getting into right now and how we're trading this market. So I've been putting out a few different videos about staking the altcoins that we're accumulating right now. And we are gearing up for probably a massive altcoin rally here in the near-term future. So if you're curious about what altcoins we're looking into, feel free to join us in our Patreon page. And then, so folks, taking a look here at Bitcoin on the 10-hour time frame, we've been holding this 21 EMA as support on our 10-hour time frame, and it still looks like we're going to be holding support here. So our 21 EMA is sitting right at about 15.5K. So if we come back down to retrace, we're looking for maybe some holding support there as well. But what we're looking at is maybe some of these lower time frames to see if we're going to continue bouncing from here or not. It does look like we are about to get a green dot here on our 2-hour time frame as well. Let's take a look at our 90-minute just for kicks and giggles. It looks like we're already about to bounce here on our 90-minute time frame. And more than likely, this is going to end up sending us back up. This is a nice tight green dot here on our momentum wave. And it usually ends up being a little bit more of a bullish rally for the most part. So as you can see here, we've gotten two tight momentum waves down here right below our 0 pivot point. And then they skyrocket back the other direction too as well. So I'm looking for probably, definitely a nice push back to the upside here. More or less, and then as we start to zoom out here on our time frames on our Bitcoin, we can see that our money flow is still really active right now. There's lots of money flowing into this market, as you can perceive too as well, that we still have quite a lot of money coming into Bitcoin as we are looking at as of right now. So I do think that Bitcoin is ready to probably gear up and push itself up to 17K. Now it may be a little while, but I do believe that we're going to end up trying to push up to 18K by the end of the year. So we'll see exactly how this plays out. It doesn't look like any dumps are coming anytime soon. It just looks like we're going to have a consistent, steady move to the upside, and it'll probably take a little bit longer than some people are expecting. but we're definitely looking for that move possibly by the end of the year. So that's kind of what Bitcoin's looking like. Let's take a look at the dominance chart real quick. Dominance chart here on Bitcoin is also, had a nice green candle here on our 2-day. Let's take a look at our daily and see how our daily performed. So we're starting to see like this U-shaped pattern here, possibly ready to break back up above our previous high at about 66%. And then our 2-day also showed us that, we're finding some resistance as of right now, but we're currently retesting this green trend line once again. And I would imagine that we'll probably end up trying to break through it and come back up here to this 68% level and retest this green trend line up here. Let's go into some of our lower time frames just to keep a close eye on things. It does look like we are wanting to maybe see the dominance just possibly tadly fall off just a tad bit, but even on these lower time frames, it looks like we're getting ready for maybe another bounce to the upside to possibly 65% or so. And I would definitely think that Bitcoin's probably going to make another nice move back up to maybe that 6.3 or 6.5 area here in the near term future. So I would imagine that's right around the corner. And then obviously we're looking at, 17 to 18K, possibly by the end of the year or so. So let's take a look, folks. We'll go over some of the news really quick that's been kind of circulating. So obviously some of y'all know about PayPal and them offering buying, selling, and holding of cryptocurrencies now. But like I said, I looked at my PayPal wallet today and I didn't really see the option there. So maybe I'm just looking at it in the wrong place. But obviously we know that you can't hold your keys either, and you can't send or withdraw any of the crypto that you hold on here. So I would look forward to having that option and that feature later on. And then I might be able to, I might consider using PayPal as a means of buying crypto. Another article I came across is Bitcoin whale sell-off could capitalize BTC voyage above 16.2. This is basically saying that 16.2 is a major resistance area, that maybe there's some whales that are willing to probably sell off around this area too as well. As of right now, I do not see that in the charts. Increased whale deposits, explain 85%, but we can definitely kind of keep our eye on the market to see if this dump could be coming. Looking for validation that Bitcoin whales are confident in their assets. The number of addresses holding at least 10,000 BTCs has just matched 2020 high of 111. Additionally, those with 1,000 to 9,000 BTC are now just 6 below the all-time high of 2,135 wallets. The future is less bright for altcoins. Alternatively, cryptocurrency altcoins are now in precarious positions due to Bitcoin's current price cycle. If Bitcoin goes up, then it could continue to suck the volume out of the cryptocurrency market. Consistently, altcoins would underperform against Bitcoin and possibly against the US dollar. Alternatively, if Bitcoin breaks down, it could rattle the market, which could lead to a major altcoin market correction. A pseudo-anonymous cryptocurrency derivatives trader known as Coin Mamba wrote, I would stay away from longing any alts here. If BTC breaks down, they will go down hard. When they start moving, you have plenty of time to make good entries, so be patient, my friends. So yeah, as we know, alts are not really performing that well right now. We're going to dive on into some of the altcoins as well, but I do not see Bitcoin really slowing down that much here. I think we could see some resistance, but I don't think that we're going to have a big sell-off past under 16K. I think that we're finding really good support at about the 16K area. And I do believe that that is probably going to end up being like that too as well. Now, this was a 2-hour time frame trade that our group also, I had posted in our trading group page to take as well on our 2-hour time frame, and we also took that on the 45-minute time frame as well too. You can see this trade down here. I posted this in our trading group as well too. Symmetrical triangle breaking to the upside, so that was a nice trade for them, and the 2-hour trade setup here. So now we're going to be kind of keeping a close eye to see what our next trade setup might be. I think that we could be moving sideways. We could be finding some resistance, but I do not really see us coming back down to possibly, I just feel that we're going to have pretty good support at around that 16K area, if anything, but if we do have a sell-off, that's a possibility. Let's take a look at maybe some of our fib retracements, if we are to consider possible sell-off. what would our fib retracements tell us? Our 0.5 area is sitting right at about 15.4, 382 sitting right at about 16 or 15.6, and then our 236 is right at about 16K. So yeah, that's kind of what it's looking like. But you know, obviously we're gonna keep a close eye on our 10-hour time frame and our 21 EMA. This is where I consider us to be really bearish if we break below 15.4. You know, if we break below 15.4, then yeah, we're looking for lower numbers. But as of right now, it's still looking like we're probably gonna try and hold support above 16K. We've just been kind of staying above it, and it looks like we have been doing pretty well there. So we'll take a look at some of the alts here, and then also wanted to take a look at this article that was posted as well. Ethereum and Litecoin forecast one last crash against Bitcoin. So we have over the past few weeks, a retest to over 16K and still climbing. The massive buy signal caused the way to retail and institutional FOMO. Bitcoin dominance reaches as a high as 66%, have fallen to as low as 35 shortly after reaching its current all-time high of 20,000. So yeah, we're keeping a close eye on the dominance chart obviously as well, but we've really been retesting that trend line too, you know, to possibly break above it. The top two altcoins are often used as a gauge of health of the altcoin space as a whole, and their weakness against Bitcoin could be telling. But as the case with Bitcoin itself, when things get bleakest, it's actually time to buy. Altcoin sentiment is likely to sink further against BTC, promoting more and increasingly aggressive selling when the supply runs dry. However, things turn around. Those who could be regretful when alt season is finally here. So yeah, and I've been keeping a close eye on some of our alts, especially that we're talking about in our trading group too as well. And right now they're looking like a crazy buy right now, just because they have been kind of selling off. And I think that they're going to have their time to shine here in the near-term future. So let's take a look at the dollar index just really quick, since we've taken a look at Bitcoin. And then we'll go on into the altcoin charts and kind of take a look from there too as well. So looking at the dollar index value, looking here on the 10-hour, you know, we've still been in a steady downtrend as of right now. It does look like we've kind of formed a little bit of a resistance line up here that we could come back up and retest, but as of right now we're getting a rejection here on the 10-hour time frame with the red dot that looks like it's ready to probably shoot us back down a little bit lower as well. Let's go on into the daily chart and see what's happening here. Daily time frame as well, maybe wanting to make its way above the resistance point, but our VWAP looks a little flat as of right now, and this could possibly just still move sideways and break below our current resistance line, or maybe it finds it as support and just starts to slide down in that direction. But our dollar value is definitely declining right now too as well. Even if we start to zoom out, you can just see that this money flow is thick in the red as of right now. The dollar does not look healthy at all. So I would be really hesitant about you know, people saying that the dollar is you know, going to end up surviving, because I think that we're in the midst of it right now, and I do believe that it's going to happen a lot quicker than most people are expecting. But the dollar devaluation and the dollar collapse is, I believe, at hand, and we're going to be witnessing it, you know, in first person here in the near-term future, as our assets start to rise in the first place too as well. So let's take a look at some of the altcoins here. Let's take a look at ETH. Let's jump on over into ETH. We're going to look at ETH on the daily time frame here. So ETH on the daily, like we've been saying, we haven't quite made our way above our purple trend line here just yet, but we are starting to just ride above. We're starting to ride beside it, ride parallel to it in this parallel kind of channel here, as you can see. And you know, maybe seeing a little bit of a red dot here could get some people bearish, but this VWAP is pretty flat here. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a green dot right after it, to be honest. Let's take a look at our 10-hour time frame, see what's happening here. So definitely Ethereum is not looking as bullish as Bitcoin is. You know, we've just now started riding above our 21 EMA here on our 10-hour, but we're still looking for higher price targets with Ethereum. You know, obviously, probably Ethereum is probably going to move a little bit more sideways until it will be the time for altcoins to possibly shine here in the near-term future. Our 2-hour time frame still looking pretty healthy as of right now, with money coming into this market. Let's take a look at our 4-hour here, see what's happening. 4-hour money flow is still looking really, really good there too as well. Going on into our 10-hour, 21, and daily time frame. Yeah, it's, you know, I think it's going to take a little bit longer for the altcoins to have the money move into them that people are expecting. But I think that this is a great opportunity to buy altcoins, because you know they will skyrocket after the dust starts to settle with Bitcoin. You know, once Bitcoin probably retests the 17, 18K area and possibly go into 20K, I would imagine then we'll have a little bit of sell-off pressure, and we'll really start to see these altcoins start to rise. I've heard all the way up to 100% gains in Litecoin as well too, but we're looking for a push up above 500 with Ethereum too as well. So it looks like we still are getting bullish candles here with Ethereum. Let's go on into our 3-day chart, see what's happening too as well. 3-day chart still looking really, really good. 4-day chart, we had that buy signal all the way back down here, and just man, the market god buy signal was just right on the dot here. No sign of any sell signals as of yet. Yeah, even no sign of any daily sell signals as of yet on Ethereum either. So this is still looking really, really good, folks. And I do believe that Ethereum is going to continue to rise up here. Looking at our 4-day chart, this money flow is looking really, really healthy for Ethereum too as well. So I would expect that we push through $500 here pretty soon, possibly by the end of the month. You know, and definitely going on into the end of the year, we'll be way above $500 for sure with Ethereum too as well. So let's take a look at Litecoin, because I do believe that was another one that they were kind of you know, speculating on with some of the price movements that have been going on here. So you can see here, I did have that kind of drawn out for our trading group too as well. I said, hey, 65 is next in the books. This was right back when we were sitting right about here too as well. And what do you know, we retested $65, and you know, we're making our way back up above. And you know, we still have some more price targets for us to come back up and hit higher highs too eventually. We'll have to see how that wants to play out. Let's get a fresh chart here and just kind of see what's happening. So looking at our daily time frame, you know, we broke back up above our resistance line here, our purple trend line, and started to push up a little bit higher. This does look like a pretty crazy wick here, but we're still sitting at about $65 with Litecoin too as well. Going on into some of our lower time frames here, money flow still looks really good on the 4-hour. Going on into the 8-hour. 8-hour is still a little thin here on money flow. Let's go on into maybe the 21-hour, see what's happening. It does look like money flow is ready to come back into that greenish area here, where we did have a nice little pump with Litecoin as well too. But this is what I pointed out with our trading group. I believe this trend line here broke through resistance and continued up from there in a nice little zigzag pattern for us as well too. So folks, if you want different trade setups like that, you know, don't forget to join us in our Patreon page. The Patreon page is available, and you can sign up for the year at 10% off if you'd like to as well. Once you sign up for our Patreon page, make sure that you give me your Discord username, so that way I can add you to the private categories on our Discord server as well. And that way you can get all our updates and chat with us a little bit more, and chat with your Patreon members that are all in here to you know, make the big bank, you know. So these altcoins are definitely possibly going to be getting ready to gear up for another big move here. It looks like we're getting quite a few green dots here on Litecoin too as well. Now folks, look at this 2-day time frame. 2-day time frame, we're getting a little bit of resistance above head, but we wick through we wick through our resistance level here, and now we're probably waiting for a green triangle to confirm that we're going to be probably breaking up above this too as well. So we probably want to see another push back to the upside here. Let's take a look at the daily and see if we could possibly be moving back up. It looks like our daily is getting a green dot here too as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if our 2-day closes above this resistance level, and then we continue up higher from there. So we're looking at some nice price targets with Litecoin too as well. So this could be Litecoin's time ready to shine. Looking at the 3-day chart here too as well, we are starting to break above one of our resistance levels. And our green money flow is looking really good for as of right now. For what it is and what it is for the altcoins, it's looking relatively healthy. So this was back in our previous cycle here, where we went up to you know, that 14K area with Bitcoin back in 2019. And you know, Bitcoin or Litecoin had a nice skyrocket move up to the side there. So we're looking for possibly another big move like that with Litecoin coming here in the near term future too as well. I do believe that us breaking these resistance lines is just the start of it. So I would keep a close eye on Litecoin. It does look like it is ready to possibly start to move back up above some of these areas, and possibly gearing up to retest like $82 in the near term future, you know, going on into the end of the year. So I would say that, you know, Litecoin is definitely going to be one to keep a close eye on too as well, to see how it compares to some of the other alts that are getting ready to move in this market. But still, Litecoin's looking pretty good as of right now. Let's take a look at the weekly. I'm just curious. We're starting to get buy signals even here on our weekly time frames too as well. So definitely not something to be ignored. We had this green dot down here, and we're also moving back up into our green money flow here too as well. So I do believe that alts are getting ready to probably shine on us here in a little bit, possibly going on into December. We'll start to see the first glimpse of that, and then you know, once we're past December, folks, I think it's off to the races for some of these alts. So we need to be ready. We need to gear up. Like I said, if y'all want to join us on our Patreon page and learn about what alts that we're in accumulation of, and these are some mid-cap coins too that will at least 100x, you know, during our next cycle too as well. Now I did hear one you know, price target that's a Litecoin all the way up 1,000% or 100%, which would give Litecoin us about right there at 130 or so. And you can see that I have a price target ready up in that general direction area. But $130 Litecoin, man, that'll be pretty awesome. Last time we hit, where were we at? About $140 in our 2019 little bull rally here. So, you know, $100 Litecoin would be pretty freaking awesome, to be honest. So I look forward to that, folks. If y'all are interested, don't forget to use the links in the description box below. You can join us on our public Telegram channel, our public Discord server as well. Just make sure that you abide by the community rules and guidelines. Click the green checkbox whenever you join us in there. And then also we have our Telegram announcements page. You can get updates about when we go live, and different options about when we're doing sales on our Patreon page and stuff like that, if you're interested. And then also, folks, we're on our way to 3,000 subs. Once we hit 3,000 subs, we'll be doing a $100 giveaway in one of our favorite altcoins. And then also we'll be using that drawing live. And then once whoever wins, I'll give you an email and make sure that you get that $100 in altcoins too as well. So make sure to share this video, folks. I hope you found it interesting. It's kind of dragged on here just a tad bit, but hopefully you found a little bit of interest in it, and that you'll go out and share this video too as well. So don't forget to subscribe if this was your first time here. I look forward to having you back. And without further ado, we'll go ahead and end the video here. I'll see y'all in the next one. CTO signing out. Peace.